Hi students, welcome to second year commerce class. In our previous class we have discussed about advantages and disadvantages of mail order retail trade and consumer cooperative stores. After that we have got a concept already we have explained, that is channels of distribution. Okay. So there are two types of channels of distribution. One is manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer and consumer. This is one way of flow of goods. Flow of goods means manufacturer will produce the goods, he will sell it to wholesaler, wholesaler will sell it to retailer, retailer will sell the goods to consumer. This is one way. Later on in some development what happened is manufacturer nowadays is avoiding the wholesaler, directly approaching the retailer because of the development of technology and various reasons. Manufacturer himself is playing the role of wholesaler, so directly approaching the retailer and the goods are supplied to retailer. In turn the retailer will sell it to consumer. Further development what we are observing is manufacturer or say producer is directly selling to consumer. So these are the three channels of distribution we have got. The flow of goods will take place in these manners. So day by day the changes are occurring in the marketing. So it is not like a same traditional method. It is not like a concrete formula that always there should be wholesaler and a retailer in between the producer and consumer. It is not compulsory. So any producer according to his capacity, according to his management skills can adopt any such system. So nowadays manufacturers are very wise and they have got such management capacity, so directly they are approaching consumers. So these are the three methods of distribution of goods. After this we enter into a very interesting topic called SEZ, Special Economic Zone. Very important, rather compulsory question for 5 marks. Okay, and you must be aware of this. Even in economics also you will be studying about these SEZs, Special Economic Zones. What is a Special Economic Zone? If you understand the difficulties or say the steps in formation of a business organization, then you will understand the objectives or motive behind SEZ in an easy manner. Suppose you are an entrepreneur. If you want to establish a business organization, an industry or a trading unit or a processing unit, what you require is properly available infrastructure. What is infrastructure? Roads, electricity, communication, buildings, railway station, airport, bus stand, where you need to move factors of production, that is labor, material from one place to another place. You require better transportation. Better transportation requires better roads, either railways or roadways. You may be using according to the capacity. You require communication system like internet or telephones, etc. Fax, because nowadays we are dealing with a global market. So exchange of communication plays a very, very important role in the success of a business organization. You need to know what is the price of a particular commodity at various parts of the market, at various areas of the world. Accordingly, you can trade. Whether you want to buy the goods or sell the goods, you should know the information about the world market. How do you come to know? So you should have a Google, you should have a digital TV, computer, internet. So you can search and get the information within seconds. So for which you require communication. Labor are to be moved from their place, they have to reach the factory. Okay. So people who wish to establish a business organization will look for these facilities. They require water for their factory. They require communication system. They require electricity, because without electricity, machines will not run. So power is must. Roads are compulsory. Buildings should be there. So individually, if any entrepreneur has to set up all these things, it will be a heavy burden for the entrepreneur. So particularly country like India, entrepreneurs may not have that sufficient capital to establish infrastructure on their own. So they want help from the government. So in India, for the past 20-30 years, this special economic zone system has come into existence, is developing and working very well. What do we do here? What is a special economic zone? Simple, an area where businessmen are allowed to do the business in a free manner without any difficulties, given the facilities in a ready-made manner. Okay. Means they don't require to construct building on their own, or say their roads are not required to be built. Everything is set up, ready-made, like event management. Okay, nowadays you see, when some functions are going on, birthdays or marriages, earlier days the family members used to struggle how to arrange food, shopping, this. Nowadays it is not required. Simply you approach a event manager, pay him, they will discuss at what level you got the celebration to be. So you give them money, everything they will take care of. So ready-made jolly, just you should go and sit over there, enjoy the function. Okay, that way also you can enter into. That is also one of the business nowadays, event management companies. Nowadays you might have seen in various movies or on web series. Okay, so like this also, special economic zone is a ready-made setup by the government. So that's what the definition I have mentioned here. The areas that offer incentives to resident businesses. So incentives means benefits, like tax benefit, power benefit. So for example, in a normal commercial manner, if government is collecting 10 rupees per unit electricity, in a sales, it may be giving it 5 rupees only. 50% subsidy may be given for power. Even sometimes for 3 to 4 years, government will promise that it will supply power free of cost to encourage industries. Why all the government has to do all these things? Because in country like India, we are struggling for industrialization, means more number of industries are not there. We need to improve the number of industries. We have to provide employment opportunities. We have to attract investment from foreign countries. Moreover, industrialization is to be speed up. For that purpose, government has to encourage. Clear? Like for example, a student is brought and ask her to study on her own. Just give them a textbook means she may not study. It becomes very difficult for the student to study the entire lesson. So if you want to push her, to encourage her to get good marks, what we can do? So we will shortlist. We will explain. We provide them the ready-made material. We say that yes, read this answer, you will get 5 marks. Read this answer, you will get 10 marks. So lot of work what you have to do. Like reading the textbook and making the important points, side headings, okay, remembering shortcuts, everything. We will do that exercise and we provide you a ready material. Now you will feel very easy to read that answer and just go and examination. Okay, present your answer, you will get good marks. Similarly, industrialists, entrepreneurs, If they are asked to do everything on their own, they are discouraged. They don't come forward to start up an industry. So we need to do the basic work. We means the government will be doing. So government will provide them lot of incentives. They offer competitive infrastructure. Competitive means very good. High level infrastructure, sophisticated infrastructure, furniture, computers, everything, communication system, all are provided. Duty free exports. Duty means tax. So normally when we export goods, we have to pay export duty to the central government of India. But you see the goods produced in special economic zones are tax free. That means while exporting to foreign countries, you need not pay export duty on these goods. Apart from SEZ, wherever you produce goods and you export, you have to pay export duty. But the goods which are produced in a SEZ are free from export duty, and we give them lot of tax incentives also, like sales tax or other local excise tax, etc. Also, we give some incentives, not completely free, but we collect a less tax from those people. Now, under special economic zones, we have got various other categories, like in a college, in a junior college. At broader concept, it is a junior college, but we have got MEC, MPC, BIPC, CEC, English medium, Telugu medium, first year, second year, like that. Different classes are there. So overall, in a broader concept, it is a special economic zone, but special economic zones include, okay, they include free trade zones. What are the various categories of special economic zones are? Free trade zones, export processing zones, this already we have learnt in first year. Free zones, industrial parks. In entrepreneurial development, I have discussed about this. It is also a place where government will take care of everything. Then free ports, then urban enterprise zones. These are all the part of special economic zones where majority of the work is done by the government. So ready-made, just you should go and set up your business organization. Clear? Now, what are the objectives? Why should we do all this work? Why should the government take initiative in promoting this industrialization? Okay, why should we spend that money in arranging a special economic zone? Because arrangement of special economic zones is not an easy job. You require vast area of land, you have to acquire from the farmers. Sometimes farmers may hesitate. You have to convince them, you have to pay them the market value of the land. Okay, land acquisition is not easy nowadays. You see in Telangana how many farmers are moving court against the TS government when government is trying to procure land for their irrigation projects. Okay, you might have seen in West Bengal what happened when Tata tried to establish their nano project there. Do you remember that? Farmers led by Mamata Banerjee around 15 years back. They fought with police, they fought with Tata company, firing took place, few farmers died. At last, Tata company had to move from West Bengal to Gujarat for their nano project. Nano cars you might have seen. Even in Telangana right now, when government of Telangana is trying to construct a Mallana Sagar reservoir, the farmers of those villages are not willing to give up their lands in various areas. So special economic zones means you cannot build up in sky. You require vast area of land. For the land may be belonging to government to some extent, but remaining as land is to be purchased from farmers in a private manner. You have to convince the farmers, you have to pay them price. Farmers may not be willing because the land is their livelihood. So that is their occupation. So they don't give up. So it becomes very difficult. So even after all these difficulties, government, either Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, various state governments are coming forward and establishing special economic zones. Last year I might have told you that in Telangana also we have got a special economic zone near Jedcherla on National Highway 44, around 100 kilometers from Hyderabad. We have got a SEZ, National Highway from Shamshabad to Bangalore Road. At 100 kilometers from here, you will find a special economic zone. There you have got various companies like Pitti Laminations, Aurobindo Pharma, other companies are there providing jobs to many. Clear? So, what are the objectives? Why government takes such interest in developing these special economic zones? So, the first objective is generation of additional economic activity. This is very much important. Additional economic activity. Normally, you know, economic activity. Economic activity means buying and selling of goods for earning profit. So if the government is dull, not taking initiative, economic activities may be slowed down or say may go in a normal manner, average manner. So if you want development, economic development, we have to speed up. For example, if students are studying in the class, if lecturer is sleeping, not taking initiative in explanation, in convincing them or motivating them, per day students may read only one answer. But if you push them, you ask them, you help them in understanding, clarify their doubts, question them, so per day they may study 4 answers. I hope you are able to understand my example. So you need to pinch, you need to motivate them. Similarly, industrial people, without government support also they may be carrying out their business, but that may go in a slowed manner. So if you have to speed up, government has to encourage, motivate them. So if you develop special economic zones, naturally more industries will be set up and the economic activities will increase. Rather than producing 100 units, we may be producing 1000 units. So once economic activity increases, ultimately that has got positive effect on various other issues. Next, promotion of exports. Right from first year I have been telling you, India's economy is still developing, struggling because of less exports and more imports. Okay, we are paying more money to foreign countries than what we are receiving. How can you receive money from foreign countries? You cannot beg. So increase your capacity, improve your efficiency. So produce goods of export quality. So you start selling goods to foreign countries rather than buying. So you decrease imports and increase exports. For that purpose, special economic zones play a very important role where they help you to produce export quality goods and you can increase your exports. Then promotion of investments. Naturally you have to attract investments because for which you require a lot of capital. If special economic zones are established, we establish more industries, so various companies can issue shares, can issue debentures and we can collect capital from domestic people and we can attract investments from foreign countries also. Because once economic activities are developed, industrialization takes place, people from various parts of the world will be interested to invest money into our companies. Then creation of employment opportunities. As you know very well, once the industry is established, automatically it generates employment to various people, workers, accountants, clerks, supervisors, managers. Many people will get employment opportunities. Then development of infrastructure facilities. Okay, once special economic zones go on established, we can see more and more areas are developed with beautiful roads and developed transport system, etc. can be seen in different parts of our state or our country. So to develop the areas in a balanced manner, maybe in economics you will be learning, balanced regional development is very much important. Means all regions must be equally developed. So in that, special economic zones will play a very important role. You just now I told you that a special economic zone in Telangana is established in Jadcherla in Mahbubnagar district. Why that district was selected? You know, more people from Mahbubnagar will migrate as labor because they don't find industries in that district. People do not have proper irrigation facilities, so agriculture is very low. So people struggle to survive, lead their life. So they go to Mumbai, they come to Hyderabad. So in Telangana, it is the #1 district where people, labor are migrated more in number. So to avoid that, then Y.S. Rajashekar Reddy government in the year 2004 has established that SEZ in Jadcherla. So like that we have got one more in AP, Kakinada. In Gujarat also we have got. So special economic zones are set up by state government and in certain areas government of India in order to achieve all these objectives.